I think they're all members of my family. Every single dog that is here, if for any reason I ever couldn't find it a home, I wouldn't show it any less love than I show any of my dogs.
The whole experience of going to Tracy's has been, it's really brought my family really back together.
When Tracy and I moved here, we decided we wanted a big dog, and we said, well, what kind should we get? And we thought about an Irish Wolfhound, because Tracy had one as a child, and I thought about a Great Dane.
We chose Great Dane because we read about them as well, and we, found out that they were gentle dogs, the true gentle giants.
All of a sudden, we heard about a Great Dane that needed to be rescued, and we rescued the dog, and that was our first one, and her name is Beauty. And then we heard about another one that we needed rescue, and I said to Tracy, gee, can we have 2 dogs? I mean, do you think we should have 2? And she said, yeah, we got a big place. We can have 2 dogs. So I said, okay. So we got our second one.
You may recognize Burt Ward from television. He was Robin on the hit series Batman. Now this boy wonder rescues Great Danes while he also runs a successful animation house.
We never thought that we would, have a herd of Great Danes. I mean, but then again, we never thought about what we would have. We just sort of like, let's just enjoy each other and go forward in life and see what life brings us.
Life brought them many more Great Danes. Eventually, they decided to run a Great Dane rescue from their home. Sometimes they have as many as 60 dogs.
4 of the Great Danes are officially our dogs, where they'll never leave. They'll always stay here. They're permanent members of our family. I don't really discern from them and the others. But I love them all. I mean, every dog that's been here I've loved.
Well, we do it together, but Tracy, this is Tracy's, she runs this thing, you know what I mean? I tell everybody I'm on a very short leash. But, no, she really has done such a magnificent job.
Since January 1st, I have taken in 80 Great Danes, and I have found homes for 101. I do know that tomorrow I'm getting 3 more. On Wednesday, I'm getting another one. On Thursday, I'm getting 2 more, and another 2 on Friday. I feed them all. I feed them at least 3 times a day. If they're a year and older, I guess I go through probably 20 to 40-pound bags of dog food a day, which I actually carry and pour. I've become very strong in this. We feed about 1,000 pounds of dog food a day. I know that seems like a lot. The average Great Dane actually doesn't eat very much. Like a lot of people think, oh my gosh, what did she say? I can't afford to feed these dogs. It's actually completely the opposite. The average Great Dane eats $20 to $25 of food a month. A poodle eats $15 of food a month. So they generally eat less than the average German Shepherd because they're not a sporting breed that is so hyper that they need a lot of food. We have a mobile vet who comes here and he checks them all out as they come in. He gives them their shots, their rabies shots, the DHL PPC. Dogs that need to be spayed or neutered, we do have another vet that we bring all of them to, and they're spayed and neutered. My mobile vet can come here every other day if I need him to. So no matter what we need, he'll come and look at it. And it saves us the trip of bringing so many to the vet.
We've been working with Tracy at the rescue probably for the last 4 years or so. I would say on the average we probably end up coming here somewhere between once to twice a week. I've always been impressed with the level of commitment that they have to both the dogs and what they want to achieve with them. I think it's one place that we find that both puts a lot of effort, a lot of money and a lot of love into what they do, and that's been something that's always impressed us. The problem that you find overall with rescues is that a lot of them either lack manpower or resources, or they are selective on what they will rescue.
He's a good boy. It's a camera. Yes, sir. Yeah, let me do this so you ready to do it?
We find that Tracy and Bert basically, if it's a Dane, it doesn't matter if it's old or young, if it's very sick, if it's healthy, if it needs a lot of care or if it needs a lot of investment, they will always go out of their way to take the animal and help it.
Whoops, come on, come on, come on. He's a puppy. He's a boy. Look at you. We actually just became a nonprofit a couple of weeks ago because we are hoping that we will get some funding and some donations. But up until now, we pay for everything. And I think we've been doing it almost 6 years now. It costs a lot of money to do this. We didn't go into it saying, oh, well, how can we lose a lot of money? It's more one life at a time. You know, you see a dog, and let's say like the one that got hit by a car, we may not be in the best position to pay for it at that time, but if we didn't, it would die. So we pay for everything. I mean, if it's only a matter of money, somehow or another, we find a way to pay for it.
The need for people like Tracy and Bert is acutely felt by local shelters.
We see approximately 15,000 dogs and cats a year that come through the shelter as strays or owner turn-ins. It's our responsibility to care for those animals, try to find their rightful owner, try to adopt out as many animals as we can. During the course of trying to find rescue sources, we were fortunate to meet Tracy and Bert Ward. One of the reasons that we like to work with the Wards is because they really have thought through the process. They understand what's involved. They work with their heart and their head and their pocketbook. They put so much into it, so much emotion, so much intelligence, so much compassion, that it's just an incredible pleasure to work with them.
Because the Great Danes come from all over, sometimes Tracy calls on some friends for a little assistance.
We actually saw an article in the newspaper about the Great Dane Rescue, and we called because we wanted to volunteer. And then once she called back and asked if we could go pick up a dog, and we've been doing it ever since.
Another one.
Another one. How are you doing? Such a good boy. You're such a good puppy. Yeah, his owners are really sad about giving him up.
Oh, yeah,
they were.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
Who's
Doing
this?
Good. This is Marmaduke.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, his owners had to give him up because they moved into an apartment and they weren't able to keep him.
Tracy calls us and says we have a dog at a shelter, at a home, depending on where it is. And then we usually call, get directions, go pick up the dog. We try to bond with it for a little while before we put it in the car, and then we bring it to Tracy. And then she takes it from there.
That's him.
Tracy also gets some help from her 9-year-old daughter, Melody.
I help my mother clean yards, take care of puppies. I help her deliver puppies. Oh, I help with almost every adoption. I've almost helped with probably 100 adoptions. They're really sweet animals, and they have a really good life here. And I really try to make them happy, too. Rainbow Bright got here when she was just a tiny baby, and the lady gave her to me to hold. And I held her, and later on, I named her Rainbow Bright. And she used to give me her paw, and I would pick her up and hold her, like rockabye her and stuff. And so she still gives me her paw to pick her up. She doesn't know she's way too big now to even sit in my lap.
What we've done is we've made our home kind of like not only the Great Dane Sanctuary, but our sanctuary, a place where we have what we need. We have a beautiful life and a beautiful family.
But Tracy still hopes to find permanent homes for most of these Danes. Barbara Tonelli and her family will be adopting their second Great Dane from Tracy Ward.
She's a person who's already adopted a Great Dane from me, so obviously she's a wonderful person to adopt another. She has other animals. She's a mom. She also is a speaker for children's causes.
I've been around animals and pets my whole life, yeah. My mom is from the farm, and my dad's a rocket scientist, so we've raised dogs, and we've had cats and pigeons and rabbits and chickens. I just love animals. My pets are my salvation in that it's a tough world out there. You know, I'm single, and my kids, we've come through a lot. Our house is burnt down. We escaped a serious environment, and the pets, they're always there for us. They constantly have that adoring affection. It's actually very hard to talk about. Our house burnt down, and we had German Shepherd and Dalmatians, and as a result of the fire, they're no longer with us. So we were dogless for quite a while.
6 months after the fire, they adopted their first Great Dane, Tahoe.
Jessica actually initiated it and said, you know, she thought it'd be good for us, and I was devastated. It was very hard. And so we decided on the Great Dane breed. for no other reason than we just thought they were wonderful. They're huge, they're a lot of fun, and they're pretty low maintenance. They have a very low energy level, so they're not a lot of work. We ended up deciding on Tahoe. He's beautiful. He's perfect. We decided to get another Great Dane. It was actually a family decision. Tahoe's home by himself, you know, if I'm at work, kids are at school, and they're a real sensitive breed of dog, and we really needed, I think, him to have a buddy, so he has someone to, you know, clown around with during the day. See, we're gonna get your buddy. You ready to go? Huh? Hold him. Oh, you didn't have it. You guys ready? You got everything? Leash, dog, Pikachu. You got my keys? Yes, I have the water. Soda. No, I'm not bringing sodas. Wanna go see Tracy? Come on, Tahoe, come here. Come here. Come on, let's go see Tracy. I am so excited. I love going to Tracy's because she has just a beautiful compound, and when I cross those gates, it's like I'm leaving reality and entering paradise. You go through these rolling hills of green grass. She's wonderful, and she has so much energy, and you just feel vitalized. You remember Jessica, Julie, the porters? I like everybody. Tahoe! Remember Tracy? Where's Mr. Tahoe? Wow.
Get the jowls.
Hi, Daddy. How are you? I like your pretty.
Barbara's looking for a dog that would be perfect in her house, perfectly trained with her other animals and her kids. Generally, she'll probably get one that is 1.5 years and older, because at that age, they don't chew, they're not chewers, barkers, and diggers, Great Danes in general. I have a sneaking suspicion she might like a few of them, so she's gonna have a pretty hard decision to make. Anyway, so as you know, I'm gonna start with my dogs first, so I'm gonna bring out the troop. Well, what I generally do for her and for everyone who adopts, I bring out my dogs, or some of my dogs, so that you get an idea of what they're like, you know, as far as sizes and colors and how they act in general. This is Avalanche. He's the largest dog in the world right now.
Look at his tail. Check out the base of that tail.
His tail is like 6 inches wide. Avalanche weighs 285 pounds and is 43 inches at his back. So he is the largest dog in the world right now. Here comes Apollo. And then after people meet them, I bring out the ones for adoption one by one. We never let people look at them through fences or have them bark at them. And you meet them, you get to see their personality, and then I'll bring out as many as she wants to see. These are some of the colors we were telling you too. He is a fawn. Unlike most working and sporting breeds that are very hyper and need a job to do, Great Danes, their whole life is for their owner.
I like the fawn dogs. They're the blonde colored ones is really nice.
Like brownish fawn.
The brownish blonde, yeah.
What'd you want?
I kind of want a baby boy.
A baby boy.
Like a little dog.
A little dog or a young dog?
Little boy. Little boy
You
dog.
mean like Pikachu?
Bigger.
Okay, you mean a younger Great Dane?
Like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, little like that. I see. Okay. I want a giant one and color. I don't know. I'm kind of looking for a chocolate merle. Maybe a giant harlequin to go with Tahoe. I haven't really decided. I just like to look and see.
Are you guys ready to see them all?
Yes.
Okay, what I'm going to bring up first are the two littlest puppies, or two of the little puppies that I have.
Barbara and her kids are about to see some of the Great Danes Tracy has up for adoption.
The first-time adopter is really, really interested in getting the right dog. So sometimes they won't look at as many dogs. Like they'll, you know, like everyone is different, but you know, I can bring out one dog and they'll look at it and say, "Oh my God, that's the most wonderful dog I've ever seen," and they want to adopt that dog. Always play with them. When someone like her who's already adopted from me, and when they come back, they seem to want to look at more dogs. You know, first I guess they want to learn more about the breed, or they get an appreciation for it, and they're also different. Generally, it takes around an hour, I should say, but I mean, there are some people that every now and then will look at the one and stop, and it could take, I mean, but even if they just did that, it would still take about a half an hour. But I would say the average one would take an hour or more. But there are some that take 2 or 3 hours. I have many, many more dogs that I could show you. I'm sensing you're having enough of a hard time deciding between these. So I was wondering, did you want to see any of the ones you saw again? I mean, so who are your favorites again?
Marmaduke,
Marmaduke.
Tiger Lily, Tasha. I think top are Daisy, Marmaduke, and Tiger Lily, right?
Well, I'm thinking Glacier, Adam, Marmaduke, and no, I don't want to go Adam. Glacier. What did I say? Glacier, Marmaduke, Daisy, and I think those are mine. Julie, your turn.
I like Marmaduke and Tasha and Daisy.
Okay, so the ones that we all agree on we'll narrow that down.
Daisy
Process of elimination. Daisy and Marmaduke are the two. No one else like Glacier?
I never see Daisy.
Okay, so we all at least agree on those two.
Tracy brings back the two favorites, Marmaduke, a fawn, and Daisy, a Boston.
Oh, she's just so adorable, though.
She's really cute.
They're like night and day.
She's very much a baby.
Oh. All right, well, drum roll. Marmaduke!
His owners, they're actually a couple that just got married. The husband-to-be actually owned him, and they had very limited finances and had to move into an apartment and couldn't keep
He
it.
certainly makes
They have selected Marmaduke, who will now meet their other Great Dane, Tahoe, and their Pomeranian, Pikachu.
Slow down.
Now that he gets closer, what you do is you bring him up on a leash and hold him closer to you so that we can do this up. There.
easy. Come here, you hold this time.
Everyone's going to be okay.
It's Tahoe. Yeah, say hello.
Say hi.
Easy.
So far, everything's going good. If anybody were to growl or were to do anything, we would correct them. But they are both perfect dogs, because that's what we have here. Since they both come from me, they're used to all other dogs. So actually, that is the best sign. They showed interest, then they, weren't interested. So obviously, they're going to be fine. I think let Tahoe off now. Just bring her over, and we'll introduce him with. Okay, so don't go slow. Careful.
What's that?
Now, okay, you bend down a little.
Don't feed her to him.
Yeah. What is it? Is it puppy? He's not even interested, are you?
He's good. She was like, no, big dog.
Yeah, he's fine.
Now that Marmaduke has been chosen, the kids play while Barbara and Tracy complete the paperwork.
You have to fill this all out as legibly as you can. I explain the contract to them, and in my contract where they actually sign and agree to my requirements, I also talk about the care and the feeding of the dogs.
These are my dog kids.
First you write your people kids, and then you also write your dog kids, the two that aren't being adopted on this contract.
We just took everybody's opinion because we all had like 4 favorites, and then 2 of them came up consistently from all of us, so we chose from there.
You can let them up, or you might as well leave.
Before we wanted a fawn also, but we ended up with Tahoe, a Harlequin, and I love him to death. So I mean, the color is not a real big deal. It's just a preference because it's just like shopping for anything. I guess you get what your heart, what you feel like connected with. So definitely feel connected with Marmaduke.
I just kind of chose Marmaduke because Daisy was just too hyper, and I didn't see her calm at all.
After being with Tracy only a couple of weeks, Marmaduke finally gets to go to a permanent home.
Snap that collar.
This is the greatest thing, and yeah, I love animals, I love dogs, and my kids. Now I have more kids, so yeah, I'm very happy.
I think it went really well. They seem to really like the dog that they've adopted. He's bonded with them. As you see, he was following them. He was part of the family. He was good with the other Great Dane they adopted from me, as well as their little dog. You're a great adopter.
Thank you. Oh, nice. Look at he goes, I'm ready to go home. Just like happy.
And of course, for the rest of his life, if you have a question about anything, I'm always here for you 24
I
hours a
will
day.
definitely send you pictures, and we will definitely stay in touch, Tracy. Bye-bye.
Running some over.
Say hello to Pikachu.
Oh yes.
We brought Marmaduke home a week ago today, and as you can see, he's pretty settled in, so we're really happy with him. He gets up and he plays, and he's pretty robust, and then he also has the ability to just lay calm and peaceful when we're watching a movie. Marmaduke's bonded with all of us. I do have to say, though, he spends the most time with Jessica. They sleep in the same room, and he's been seen on her bed at times.
Yeah, I feel really connected with Marmaduke since the first time I saw him. We just kind of first, the color was first, first love at first sight, and then his personality, you really like his personality. He's calm, but he plays, and it's nice, have a little partner, dog partner, man's best friend. So.
Marmaduke may have found a new best friend, but he still doesn't have a name yet.
It's hard to choose a name because if it's a member of our family, we feel that the personality has to match the name. And to call him something like Marmaduke, I don't feel really fits him. He has a lot of class. He's real mature and deserves respect.
Marmaduke doesn't seem to mind the wait for a new name. Right now, he just seems happy to be home.
Today, we took Marmaduke, still his name, out. This is the first time on the leash outside. We got to see how he handled the leash and stuff, and he did very well. Responded to heel, and he actually shook my hand, he sat, everything. So very good. Didn't run away. I lost the leash a couple times, and he didn't run away. He came right to me. Did very well. I was very proud of him.
The whole experience of going to Tracy's has been, it's really brought my family really back together because, going through some teenage years and conflict and our house burning down and we're pulling us all together and it's very emotional for me because it's been the happiest time for me, and we pick out the dog and it's very, very emotional for me because we're together, we're all on the same page with this, and it's very heartwarming, and we've all bonded, and it's really brought my family together again.
So I think it went really well, and they're in love, and that's what it's all about, love. Loving the dogs, kissing those jowls. so I'm happy, obviously.
You're on Animal Planet. Hang on, the story's not over yet. Another heartwarming pet story is coming up next. These devoted little guys are ready to share their stories with you. So curl up, burrow in, and get ready to be moved. A pet story is next, only on Animal Planet.